Hi fans, and welcome to this Week 3 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Last Friday night, the Wolverines defeated the Baldwin Highlanders at the Wolverina. This Friday night, they'll travel to Fox Chapel to take on the Foxes in an Allegheny 9 conference matchup. We're going to sit down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak to review last week's victory over Baldwin, preview this week's game against Fox Chapel, and we'll also let you see highlights of last Friday's game. All of that and more on the pregame show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
We are Woodland Hills. This is the Wolverina. And now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting the pride of Woodland Hills football, the 2016 Wolverines, led by head coach George Novak and his staff.
Handoff, Holt running right. Finds a crease, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. He's across midfield, inside of Highlander territory to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, end zone touchdown, an 80-yard touchdown run for Seed Holt. Tight shotgun and a quarterback draw. Jenkins has nowhere to go. Snap high. Johnson's going to have a tough time getting away. It's actually down on the floor where it's scooped up by Seed Holt. Holt still on his feet, inside of the 10, inside of the 5, and he'll cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown. And for the second week in a row, a punt block leads to a touchdown. Play action as Jones rolls to the right, sets his feet, throws to a wide open receiver, and it is a touchdown to Nazir Taylor, covering 32 yards. Jones all day to throw as he'll look to the left, and the pass is intercepted. Running down that far sideline is Andreas Howell, and he will be brought down inside of the 25. And this one is blocked by Woodland Hills. Straight drop back. He'll throw it across the middle looking for Holt, and this time it's intercepted by Glenn Ford. Ford running to his right. The ball springs loose as he's tackled by Seed Holt. The ball rolling out of bounds on that far sideline. First down and 10 at the Woodland Hills 48. Shotgun looking left, Jenkins. Wide open, a receiver down the near numbers. Inside of the 10, inside of the 5, and crossing the goal line is Andreas Howell. Kickoff bouncing into the waiting arms of Seed Holt at the 7-yard line as he will run from right to left. A flag flying as Holt finds a crease, 40, cutting it back 50. Seed Holt will take it all the way to the house, 93 yards. He'll drop back, he'll look right the whole way, he'll look for Rashid Page-Jones, and his pass is intercepted by Glenn Ford. Ford running to the left-hand side, he'll be wrapped and brought down by Jawan Hill. As a takeaway here by Woodland Hills, the pick by Jaquan Smith will negate an interception by Hall, and the Wolverines will get it back. Pistol formation, Jenkins drops back, pressured, hit, wrapped, sacked by Rashid Page-Jones. The ball squirted loose, but the official says that the quarterback is down. Whitehurst hands off. Jawan Hill driving his way forward, steps over a Highlander, still on his feet inside of the 40. Play action as Jenkins is pressured, wrapped, sacked. McAllister in there on the stop, and also cleaning up the play for Woodland Hills is Austin Balashak. Jenkins running from left to right. He's got the first down and more. Jenkins in a shotgun. He'll look right the whole way, and the pass is headed for Johnston. He'll catch it off of his shoe tops. He's running down the near sideline, and he will take it into the end zone for the second passing touchdown of the game for Jeremy Jenkins. This kick carries over the head of Seed Holt. He'll catch it on the run at the 1-yard line. Now bringing it back from right to left. Slides through Baldwin Highlanders. Cuts to the far sideline. Across the 25, across the 30, out towards the 35-yard line. Hill takes the handoff, bounces it to the right-hand side. He's got the first down and more. Dancing his way inside of the 40, still on his feet, inside of the 35. A flag comes in, and it may be a face mask, which will add to this play that ends at the 31-yard line. Hill dots that pistol, takes the handoff, hesitates, drives his way forward now, inside of the 10, still on his feet, inside of the 5, and he will be spun down at the 4-yard line. Handoff, Smith running right, cutting back left, he'll cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown of 5 yards. Low snap, Jenkins able to grab hold though, steps forward, throws the football, and it is nearly intercepted breaking on the ball went Jawan Hill. He stepped right in front. Johnston, the punter, and he kicks the ball off of his personal protector. The ball is loose down on the carpet. Woodland Hills finally scoops it up. Running towards the goal line is a Woodland Hills defender. The ball scooped up by Joshua Rawlings. He'll be brought down at the 4-yard line where it'll be first and goal for Woodland Hills. Hand off, and into the end zone goes the Woodland Hills tailback. And a touchdown for Jawan Hill. Jenkins looks left, throws left. The pass is complete. Glenn Ford on the reception, still on his feet, finally wrestled down. No snap. Jenkins will look to his left, and the pass is completed to Glenn Ford. He was able to step in front of a Woodland Hills D-back, and Ford will wrestle his way away from that Woodland Hills D-back for a touchdown pass of 48 yards, the second 48-yard TD thrown today. And as we come back to live action, a pass to that far sideline by Jenkins is intercepted by Woodland Hills, breaking on the football, and the pick six for Jaquan Smith.
We are the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Since 1987, we've been a part of some of the most electrifying football games in Western Pennsylvania, and we've established a national reputation of excellence. Whether you're a former player, a Woody High alum, a parent, or a fan, you're part of our Wolverine family. And now you can join us by becoming a part of our new booster club, the Wolverine Nation. Visit WHFBA.org and see how your donation can help our student athletes while earning you unique benefits. We're more than just a booster club. We are the Wolverine Nation.
Hi again, fans, and welcome back to this Week 3 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Adam Gusky here, sitting down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak. And Coach Novak, before we talk about this Friday's game at Fox Chapel, let's take a look back to last Friday's victory against the Baldwin Highlanders. Overall, a big conference win with a lot of positive points.
Yeah, Adam, that was actually our first game because we played that Week 0 game, so and usually you're still ironing out some things in that first game, and we definitely, both teams, you could tell, had to iron out some things, but I was real pleased with the defense. I think they held Baldwin to 2 first downs the first half, and that was a big plus for us. Special teams played well again, made some big plays. Saeed had another great game, scoring 3 touchdowns. Jawan Hill, another strong game, I think, at running back, and he's getting better every week. This is the first, for those 11 offensive starters, this is their first time starting a varsity game. The first home game, first conference game was a big game. So, we made several mistakes, but, they kept working hard and kept getting better, did some positive things, better than they did the first week. So, I'm real happy with that. We're still working with the quarterbacks. They're still learning. They're still developing. And, they had a lot of pressure this week, but both of them are getting better. There's some things that I liked from both of them, some things they both got to work on. So, that's another, it's going to be a week-to-week type thing, how we do, but we got to get better there.
Kind of stole my thunder talking about both Saeed Holt and Jawan Hill. They both had pretty good games, and you add in Jaquan Smith, and it really seems like that running game is starting to click.
The running game with those 3 running backs is going to get better and better. We got a couple other ones. Rodney got hurt. Denard got hurt. He's also a very good running back, and Jalen Holloway is another good running back. So you'll see all of them throughout the year, all 5 of them running backs back there. And, I feel good about it, all of them.
Coach, let's talk some more in detail about the defense. I think one of the biggest strong points was the fact that you were able to turn over the Highlanders when they went to the passing game.
Yeah, we were very successful. Our defensive backs played very well. I think we had one breakdown in the secondary where there were some miscues on the coverage, and they got a deep touchdown pass on us. But other than that, we played pretty well in there. They scored one late when we had one of our sophomores at defensive back. He tried real hard, but the kid was a better athlete, made a big play on him. But other than that, we did pretty well. A couple coverage things we got to work on, but up front, the people were playing well. The secondary had a pretty good game.
You talk about the people up front. Those front seven really stifled the Baldwin running attack.
Yeah, I think we mix up the defenses with a 4 front and a 3-4 front, 4-3 and a 3-4. So it gives a team a lot to look at going into the game, which defense we're going to use, and they have to prepare for both of them. And we're going to get better at both of them, and I think that's the key. And we got some very active linebackers and some quick defensive linemen.
Kind of a roller coaster ride with the offensive line. They've had some great moments, and they've struggled at times as well.
Yeah, they're still learning. I can remember back when you played back in '96 that we had some rough times early, but we got better as the season wore on, and once we got our groove, we started rolling. And I think a lot of that's, especially with this new line, all 5 of them being new starters, tight ends being new, quarterbacks being new, running backs being new, wideouts. Everybody's new. It's their second high school game they started, so they're going to get better, I think, every week. And by the end of the season, they should be on all cylinders.
Let's talk about the Fox Chapel Foxes, team we haven't seen in a while. Talk about them.
Yeah, they're always dangerous, Fox Chapel, because number one, Tom does a nice job. Their head coach, I've known him for 30-some years. He's a very, very good coach. He won some state title and WPL championships when he was at South Park. And Tommy Loughran, he's one of the top coaches in WPL, and he took the job last year. And with a year under his belt, he's got the program going. He got a lot of his offensive linemen back. He got some big running backs. Both of them are 200-pounders. They run the ball against everybody they played. Last week, West Allegheny. The week before, Mount Lebanon. The week before that, Bethel. So they played some very, very good competition and have been able to move the ball. Their quarterback's a basketball player, and he's really very athletic. He was a good basketball player, and now he's turned into a good quarterback. Defensively, their linebackers are very good, a lot like Baldwin's linebackers. So we got to be well prepared for them. They got a good football team.
How do you match up against them?
As far as matching up against them, this early in the season, it's hard to tell how good they are, how good we are. But I think it's a pretty even matchup. And our conference is going to be this way for a lot of the teams. And they'll be one of the teams in the race for a playoff spot, because I think they have enough players to do that. We saw them this summer at a 7-on-7, and they had nice size, good speed, good athleticism, and with their whole offensive line back, and a lot of the guys playing on the defensive line, they should be a formidable opponent this Friday.
Maturation process of the team continues. A couple weeks ago, you had that week 1 or week 0 game against Gateway. Then last week, your first conference game. Now your first conference road game. I guess that's all in building for this 2016 season.
With Gateway being close, and then having a home conference game and kind of playing in our hands as far as the way we're going now, and now having an away game. Gateway having a new coach. We didn't know how good they were, but once we played them, we felt they were going to be very good. And, they beat Latrobe handily this week. So, and last week, Fox Chapel had played West Allegheny tough, who was one of the top teams in our conference. So, we look for a tough game from them.
Last week we talked about it being the 30th season of Woodland Hills football, and earlier you touched on the fact that this is the 20th anniversary of the first WPIAL championship. Number one, funny how it coincides, and number two, talk about the memories of having these championship games over the last 20 years, starting back to that first one in '96.
It's kind of nostalgic, just to think back over the different players and different times that we've had, and different teams and coaches, and different championship games at Three Rivers and then at Heinz Field, and all the conference titles that we've been blessed to win, and all the different players. This is it's a special year when you think of it as the 30th, dating back to 1986, 87 season rather, was our first season. It's a special year. 30 years. That's a lot of years, and the program's grown and developed into one we could all be proud of.
Coach, you touch on all the championship games that the Wolverines have appeared in and a couple of players that made impacts in those championship games and won a WPIAL title back in '09. Juan Price and Mike Caprera doing big things for the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Adam, they both had a great game last Saturday against Villanova. Real proud of Juan Price. He was selected as one of the team captains, and he played like it's Saturday. I tell you what, he was all over the field defensively, pressuring the quarterback. He had a couple sacks. Real proud of him. Mike Caprera, likewise, playing inside linebacker, outside linebacker. They moved him around. He pressured the quarterback, had a sack or two himself, and you always saw number 5 and number 30 in the picture. So they're always around the ball, doing good things.
Well, Coach, I also understand there's some good news about some former Wolverines making it to the NFL.
Quentin Jefferson's with Seattle Seahawks, doing very well. We'll be watching him on Sundays now. Also, Lafayette Pitts made the practice squad for the Miami Dolphins, so real excited for him with that opportunity to stay in the league and to practice. And a lot of guys start out on that practice squad and earn their reputation and move up, and I think just that extra time, he'll do well. And he likes Miami. He's down there, and Lusaka Polite's right there with him, and Jason Taylor there, helped mentor him down there in Miami, and he's a great kid, one of the hardest workers we ever had at Woodland Hills. So we're real proud of Lafayette being on that practice squad, and Quentin, of course. His future looks very bright.
Well, Coach Novak, thanks a lot for your time. Good luck this week against the Foxes, and we'll talk to you again next week before the road game at Penn Trafford.
Thanks, Adam. I do want to say goodbye to my 3 grandkids. I know they watch the show. Aiden's up in New York playing soccer. Ava and Max start school. Today's their first day of school at Bedford Park. I want to wish them good luck this year at school, all 3 of them, and I want them to hit those books. That's the most important thing. I think they know that. They're all 3 big Wolverine fans. In fact, Max came to practice Labor Day to watch the boys down here. So good seeing you guys. Have a good week at school. We'll be doing our job on Friday.
We'll be back with more of the pregame show right after this here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Let's take a look at the Wolverines' results and remaining schedule. The WPIAL 5A Allegheny 9 Conference standings. And now the MSA Sports WPIAL 5A Top 10 rankings.
Thank you for joining us for this Week 3 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. If you can't make it to Fox Chapel on Friday night, you can tune in to Vince Russo and Fred Guy on the internet live on msasports.net. You can watch our live stream on the Woodland Hills Football Network Facebook page. Select broadcasts throughout the season will also be streamed live on our YouTube channel. And as always, you can tune in to the replays on Monroeville Comcast Channel 13, Penn Hills Comcast Channel 98, Verizon Fios Channel 37, and all of our broadcasts are available in HD on our YouTube channel. For everybody at the Woodland Hills Football Network, I'm Adam Gusky, and we'll talk to you again next week as the Wolverines take on Penn Trafford.
This has been a presentation of the Woodland Hills Football Network. Watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and as always, visit us at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com.